what they were doing at the time was creating a tetraploid industrial hemp variety. And I was super interested, right? They had like,
what's the point like of that?
All these plants right here are diploids, right? They have one set of chromosomes from each parent, 2 total, right? And so a tetraploid, a polyploid is just a plant that has a different number, right, than a diploid, anything other than 2, right? And so a tetraploid has 4 sets, 2 from each parent now. And what that does is, and he's telling me this shit, and I'm like, okay, same as you. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And he's like, well, check these photos out, right? And they had like 35-foot plants that had like 9-inch stalks that they had to cut down with like a chainsaw. And the seeds were like as big as my pinky nail. Right. And so I was like, oh shit, what causes that? Right. And he's like, it's this thing called heterosis, which is like a hybrid vigor, and I was like, fuck, that's sick. Right. What if we took some like 7% hashers, hit them with whatever shit that we got to do this tetraploid thing. Right. And maybe we could get like a 200 or a 300 micron head or something like that.
You call it the Hulk.
100%.
Yeah, right?
Bro. And that's what like I thought that I was trying to do with this thing. What's kind of weird, what ended up happening is instead of us getting just, and that's what I'm thinking. Hybrid vigor just makes things bigger, right? And Nat from Humboldt, he's making tetraploids, and everybody's got a misconception that these greedy breeders are just trying to make triploids that don't accept pollen. They still accept pollen, right? And I think that's kind of a misconception. I don't care, right? If somebody buys some tetraploids from me and they breed some cool shit with them, that's cool, right? That's not the reason we're doing it. We thought that we could get like this giant, like steroidal type growth, or, that's like what
Mutants.
We were trying to make some crazy mutant shit. Right. Yeah. And there's like increased terpene profiles and cannabinoids, and the plants are a little bigger, but what we figured out is that they're like resistant as fuck. Right. And so, we had a tester in Colorado this year, and they went through freezing, droughts. They have no pests. And so the hybrid vigor, it went differently for us. But now we have these polyploids that are like, dude, you could grow them in Antarctica, I think. You know what I mean? With like no water, or the Sahara Desert, they'd probably grow out there too. And I think, earlier we were talking about remediating flower, right? And what are we going to do? Phenotypic selections, I think, will solve that, right? Dudes are just going to have to double down on like commercial breeding projects for guys to be able to pop homozygous, F1 hybrid seeds that are actually the same, that are actually fire. But if they add the element of this split chromosomes, right? And you've got, a tetraploid that exhibits this hybrid vigor, they might not get mold at all. That's, you know what I mean? And so I think that we can just use breeding to kind of get around that. But everybody usually just it's like fake tits, right? You're just going to just do the fucked up way, right? And that's probably what everybody's going to do. But we're going to be doing it though.